Hello, Phoenix Risers. Good morning. I know how y'all like to see videos with people in their natural state and in their natural habitat. I do not, but however, uh, I've been called to speak now because the channel is now. So if I wait till later, it may not come out or happen or be shared. So I want to share something with you guys now. I haven't been on in a while, and this message is going to be a little bit different than my normal message because of how it did come through. So I saw a blue jay this morning, and it's the second time that I've seen it. I don't know if you know anything about birds but the blue jay has a very distinctive sound. It's very loud, and it doesn't sound. It sounds very distinctive. It's not like your typical pigeon or crow or whatever. And the tree is right outside my window. And now that it's cooler, I'm able to turn off the the air conditioner, and have my windows open. And this is the second time in the last 2 weeks that this bird, this blue jay, has come to my tree. And I've never seen a blue jay before prior to these two times. Anyway, the it came this morning again and stuck around a little bit longer for me to see it, actually see it. And it's a female blue jay. So um, blue jays are very symbolic spiritually. If you think about, well, first off, birds in general are considered messengers, and blue jays, not being common and um, being loud and bold and unapologetic, they represent communication and expression in truth. If you think about the color blue, it's closely associated with the throat chakra and communication, authentic communication, unapologetic, in truth. Um, so when I looked up the symbolism for the blue jays, specifically the female blue jay, female energy and um, female energy has to do with intuition and um, your inner knowing and your inner truth, your inner guidance. So the question posed was, what truth are you being called to voice or acknowledge? Especially with it being the second time seeing this bird, and then this time it's sticking around a little bit longer. Even though the first time I saw it, it stuck around long enough for me to see it and then flew off. This time it stuck around a little bit longer. So I pulled some tarot on it to see, and I also journaled. I sat down in silence and journaled, and a channeled message did come through. So I want to read it because I don't remember everything that I had to write really quickly because the stream of information was coming really quickly. But first off, with the tarot that I pulled, let me hook this up first. Excuse my face, y'all. I have on yesterday's makeup that's quite revealing. Yes, I did not wash my face last night. Forgive me. But I pulled the Five of Wands, the Three of Swords, Queen of Swords, and the Four of Wands, which is interesting because right as I finished writing out my journal prompt, the question, that's what truth are you being called to voice or acknowledge? It was 11:11 on the 11:11 on the clock. So, and then to pull the Four of Wands. Oh my gosh, that scared the heck out of me. My bathroom door just slammed shut. The windows are open. I don't think it's anything supernatural, but all things are symbolic and are meaningful in a reading. So I take it to mean something. But the 11:11 card also in this deck, which is the Muse Tarot with the Empress on the front. I love this depiction of the Empress. Um, the 1111 card, the Four of Wands specifically, is the Four of Inspiration. So these are the cards that came out, and the channeled message that came through was conflict and change are all natural and a part of the ebbs and flow of life. Heartbreak and healing, enlightenment and enlightenment and growth are gifts that come from awareness by these contrasts. Learning to embody these gifts and integrate the lessons provides wisdom that can be shared as inspiration for others going throughout their trials. The aim and the goal is to come back to your heart every time without shutting down or going dark or staying in the darkness too long. The dark is necessary. Going in and going within the shadow is necessary. Sorry, I was writing so fast. I didn't want to lose the stream of information. Without shutting down too long in the darkness. The dark is necessary, for that is where you gain wisdom to see and appreciate as well as cultivate the true light, not the false light that manipulates and further divides and polarizes our already dualistic nature. Finding the balance and remaining centered there is key to a harmonious existence. That Four of Wands. The Queen of Swords sees truth and uses, wait a minute. The Queen of Swords sees truth and uses logic and discernment to cut through illusions while honoring that centered balance. All logic, so like the all logical mind, can be cold and cutting. All heart with no discernment can be dangerous and naive. Balance is key. We are mirrors of each other, and what is projected outward is a representation of our inner world. The cleanup starts within. That was the message. That was the channeled message. So I thought that was really important to share, because, you know, especially with the cards that came out, with the Five of Wands, which has to do with change and conflict and, you know, petty drama, you know, the dramas we get swept up in our everyday lives and just going throughout life, rather awakened or not. You know, we still have to live in this 3D existence. However, we're transitioning into a 5D consciousness. So you may find yourself feeling more intuitive and more um, discerning and aware, and really needing to balance that awareness and wanting to, and need, in order to harmonize and um, create that balance, you know, in resistance to that polarization that's already, you know, in the nature of existence itself, that dualistic nature. And then the Three of Swords, you know, is the card of heartbreak and pain. But if you look at it, you know, where those, in the normal traditional, in the regular traditional Rider Waite depiction of the Three of Swords, you know, you have these swords piercing heart. And in this rendition, you know, she's kind of closed off, and you know, you've got these eyes seeing through the lens of darkness. However, these lights, these beams that are allowed to pierce through those wounds, that's the light, that's the true light, the gifts that allow you to even see and feel and recognize the through contrast. You know, the channeled song that I got also was that came through was "Let Go" by Frou Frou. Um, I'm not even really familiar with all of the lyrics, but I know in the chorus it says something about there's beauty in the breakdown, and that's what this card reminds me of. And there is beauty in the breakdown, and as long as you don't allow yourself to get stuck there, it's necessary to go there. You go to the darkness, you do your shadow work, you reveal layers of the hidden layers and aspects of yourself in order to integrate, well, for one, heal those broken aspects, those fragmented pieces and heartbreaks, or um, wounds that we're holding on to from our childhood and from past lives, whatever issues we still need to, or lessons I should say, we still need to learn and evolve from, embody and incorporate, or let go of, recognize, that's not what makes us who we are. It's okay to put those wands down, put that weight down. You don't have to carry that throughout your life. you know your pain, you're not going to lose anything. you know I feel like, I know when I lost my mom in 2014, and for a long time, I felt like as the time grew on, I felt the pain less and less. And I felt like guilty for that, because I felt like I was losing her in some way or forgetting her, when in actuality, I was integrating her. She was becoming more and more a part of me. And that's true with any other hardship or lesson. The goal is to come back to your heart, integrate what you need to integrate from that lesson, learn what you need to learn from that, let go of the rest, but integrate the wisdom gained from it, and incorporate the light gained from that darkness, because we do live in a paradox. It is a paradox. And that's that's the reason why you need to fall into the darkness in order to experience the rebirth, or the awakening of something. And that's why often it takes something tragic like death or loss of something in order to experience that darkness, in order to gain that the light and the wisdom gained from that. So it's not anything lost, it's something gained and incorporated. But it doesn't have to feel like or look like a weight. It could be as light as a feather, or as light as light. So um, I'm not sure who needs to hear that, or who that will resonate with, but that has been my experience. That has been a part of my process and my journey as well. And that's the message that's coming through today. So I hope this message finds whoever it needs to find. I already set the intention that that it does. And if you happen to stumble upon this video and it doesn't resonate, then please don't accept it as your own. It's not for you. I hope this helps. Much love. I'm not going to be on long. Because I look like this. And I'm still drinking my matcha. And look at that thing in the back. He's becoming a tyrant. Not really. He's so sweet. But I feel like right now he's in his rebellious teen phase, where he wants to get up at in the middle of the night and play with his noisiest toys, and takes it as an invitation when he sees you sleeping and he's awake, to come and pounce on you and jump on your head and do all the things while you're sleeping, including play with his noisiest toys. So we're learning. And then wants to sleep all day when I'm up. So periodically I'll get revenge, and when he's sleeping, I'll go over there and I'll startle him. I'll be like, "You sleeping? You sleeping? kind of pounce on him and shake him awake, shake his little noisy toys in his ears. I know, vindictive. Anyway, I hope this message finds you well, and I hope this helps. If you're new, please consider liking, subscribing, and sharing. And I hope to see you again. All right, keep rising, y'all. Bye.